Hello, friends. Today is February 12th, 2023, and welcome to the Beautiful Future Podcast. My name is Sam Song, and I'm inviting you on this journey with me as I navigate through a season of great uncertainty and significant change. Now, in this inaugural season of this podcast, I will continue to share with you what I've been learning in the first 6 months since my cancer diagnosis. We began with Chapter 1, where I shared with you how I'm starting to see each day as my first day and my last day, and also how my mindset has shifted from scarcity to abundance to enough. Then in Chapter 2, I shared about the beauty of our limitations and how much freedom we can find when we choose to embrace those limitations. In fact, our limitations is what makes us human. It's beautiful and it's powerful. And for this third chapter together, I wanted to share with you how I'm learning to let it go. And what am I letting go? I'm letting go of control. You see, I learned that control is something that can be very hard to let go of, especially in times of uncertainty and chaos. You know, in my panic of just learning that I had cancer, I began to grab at everything and try to take control over everything because I felt like that would give me power, that would give me some agency over the situation. But then I kept facing the reality that I did not have control over everything. Just the fact that I thought I was done with chemo and now I'm back at it reminds me that I am not in control. And this frustration could really lead us into the pit of despair, to be in a place where you just feel so helpless. And I know it's hard to accept that many things are not in our control. But the more we can embrace this reality, I think the better we could navigate the season of uncertainty. Now, there's a famous serenity prayer that most of us should know, but if you don't know, here it is. It says this: "Grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, courage to change the things that I can, and the wisdom to know the difference." This prayer has been such a source of comfort and strength as I learn to let go of control in the season of uncertainty. And as I continue on in this cancer experience, what I'm learning is that letting go of control is actually helping me to build my muscle of trust. Because if you can't let go, you can't trust. Now, this week, I was invited to share my cancer journey with about 100 plus sixth graders from our school that have chosen to raise awareness and support for colorectal cancer. And what an honor it was for me to record this message for them. And so I wanted to share that with you because there are things that we can control and there are things that we can do. We may not be able to control everything, but there are areas where we can control. And this was my encouragement to the sixth graders. I'm sure there's a lot of things that they feel like they have no control over, but there are a few things that they do have control over that is shared with me. And so I encourage them with this message, and I hope it encourages you. So here it is. Hello, everyone. My name is Sam Song, and I want to thank you for inviting me to share my story and share some of the life lessons that I've learned. So I have two wonderful kids. One, my son, is in sixth grade, and my daughter is in eighth grade. And I thought in sharing my story, I'd share a little bit of what I am doing to help them navigate this difficult season for our family in the season. So on August 2nd, about a little bit over 6 months, maybe 7 months ago, I was diagnosed with colorectal cancer. And I began the treatment right away. So first we started with radiation, which is these kind of like really fancy technology thing that zaps the cancer and helps to shrink down and really kind of attack the cancer. Then I went into chemotherapy where I am infused with these chemicals and this thing that really kills off the cancer cells in my body. And then after that, then I went into surgery to remove the remaining tumors that are there. So they cut me open, they cut out the tumor, and then they take a look at it and see what the state of my cancer is. And so, for me, I was hoping that after going through all of that these past 6 months, I would be done with the treatment and I can move on with my life. However, I got the bad news that there's still active cancer inside of me. And so I had to go through more rounds of chemo. And actually today I am still in the round 7 of my chemotherapy. And so I'm recording this from my home and you can see my beanie and my voice may sound a little weak. But at the same time, I wanted to show up today and make this video in hopes to encourage you and say thank you for all the efforts you are to raise awareness for colorectal cancer and the efforts you're putting to kind of raising funds for that. But when I found out about the fact that I had to keep having treatment, yes, I was very disappointed. I was a little bit like a baby, I was just kind of like, why me? Because I was really hoping to move on from this season. But that's not what happened. And that's the reality that I am in and I'm currently in. And there's not much I could do to change it except to show up every single day and do what I can around the things that I can control. And so what really helped me was I just looked around and saw my family, saw my kids, and saw my wife, and saw the friends around me that was looking at me, wanting to help me, but I also saw that it was an opportunity to help them, and that I needed to keep fighting, and I need to keep doing the things that I can every single day with whatever energy I have in order to make life meaningful. And so this is what I'm going to share with you. This is what I share with my kids all the time. They're student athletes and they work really hard in the sports that that they do, as well as school and all those things. But they're also incredible kids who are kind and friendly with all their friends. And so I'm very proud of them. And one of the things I always tell them, and these are the 4 things I always say, is that there are going to be many things in middle school and elementary schools that you're not going to be able to control. You're not going to be able to control, how your teacher treats you sometimes. You might be like, oh, my teacher's so mean. My teacher's so nice. Who knows, right? Not to say teachers are mean, but you know what I mean, right? Sometimes your perspective seems like they're being unfair. There's other times where your friends, you can't control your friends. And sometimes you can't control the environment and the circumstances of life. But there are things that we do have control. And so when we could focus on what we can control and control them, I believe that you could do anything that you aim to set out to do, and you could do great things. And so here are the 4 things I want to encourage you and remind you that you have control over. So first is you can control your focus, your perspective, how you see the world, right? You could see the world as good, or you could see the world as bad. You could see the world as beautiful, or you could see the world as ugly, right? Another area you could see is you could see others as good, you could see others as bad. It's how you choose to see them. Because in everyone, there is beauty in them. You just got to look for it. Once you start looking for it, you'll find it. And when you can see that, you treat people differently. But most importantly, how you see yourself. Look for the good and the beauty in yourself. And when you can start looking for that, you'll find it. And let that be where you begin to express and share your goodness with others. And so what can you control? You can control your perspective. You could either choose the world to see things as ugly and bad, or you could choose to see the world as beautiful and good. And when you choose to see beautiful and good, I can guarantee you'll be able to find a lot of examples of that. Now, secondly, we could control our attitude, right? So this is what I'm going to really encourage you to do. Start with the attitude of gratitude. There's so much to be thankful for. And just like beauty, if you look for the things to be grateful for, you'll find it. And so this is how we show up, right? To school, to our family, and to our lives. Show up with an attitude of gratitude, or any other attitude that's going to help you to continue to move towards being the best version of yourself. Now, the third thing you can control is your effort, right? And what I mean by this is you could bring your 100%. If you're in sports or if you're in academics, people want to encourage you to bring 110%. And really, realistically, no one could bring 110%, but we could all bring as much as we can. And that is the idea of the effort. And I want you to have a growth mindset. So if you haven't figured out something yet, just keep thinking like, I'm just going to keep working at it until I figure it out, or until I achieve it, or until I get to the goal. Don't give up, okay? And the last thing is you can control your belief. Meaning, what do you believe about yourself? What do you believe about the world and the outcome of the future? Right? I'm going to encourage you to believe that the future is bright. The future is good, because I'm talking to you and you're making a big difference by bringing awareness and effort towards helping people fight and defeat this thing called cancer. Right? You're making a difference. But most importantly, you have to know that people believe in you. I believe in you. That's why I'm taking time out of these treatment times just tell you, I believe in you. You can do incredible things. If you put in the effort, if you put in the attitude, and if you control your focus, I believe that you can continue to do great things. And so let's be positive and let's be hopeful, because that's what I'm doing, right? I have something that is killing me literally, but yet I could still choose to be positive and still try to be hopeful, and also choose to be generous and serve by even making a video like this to share with you a little bit of my story and what I'm working through. And so if you could remember to do these things every single day, and every day is day one, as the people in our community like to say, right? Whatever challenges come your way, you will do great, okay? And even if it's not a great day, you did the best you can. So again, thank you for your time. Thank you for letting me share my story. Thank you again for your efforts of bringing awareness to colorectal cancer and all the work that you're doing around that. But I figured I'll leave you with the thing that I actually ask my kids for every single day as I drop them off to school. I say, hey, what are the 3 things that I ask of you? And I say this, and I'm going to ask this of you as well. All right? Besides the 4 things that you could control, right? What are the 3 things that I'm going to ask of you is this? Can you be kind? Can you stay curious? And can you live brave? So if you can do that for me, I'll greatly appreciate it. And thank you for your time. Whether you are a 6th grader or an adult like me, I hope that that message was encouraging to you. That even though we may not be able to control everything, there are things that we do have control over. And so if you want to see the whole video, I'll attach the link in the show notes, as well as the Instagram post that I posted that inspired that talk. Well, thanks again for listening. We concluded our chapter 3 of our journey together. And so I hope that this encourages you and inspires you to keep creating the beautiful future by learning to live and lead the beautiful life today. And thanks for listening. Until next time, grace and peace.